This time I'll call the Budget Committee meeting to order and ask everyone to please register their presence.
Four present, one absent, we have a quorum.
Push your button.
Four present, one absent, we have a quorum.
Okay. Now I'll ask, please present the emergency announcement.
Before we get started, let me read the emergency evacuation procedures. In the event of an emergency evacuation, an alarm will sound. Everyone should exit the building by way of the nearest stairwell in a safe and effective manner. If the nearest stairwell is blocked by smoke, use the other stairwell. Do not use the elevator. Once you have reached the main floor, follow the exit signs to exit the building and quickly proceed away from the building. Please be mindful of others evacuating and of emergency vehicles.
And now I'll ask if there's any input on items on the agenda. Seeing none, item D, approval of the minutes. These are the approval of the December 11th, 2018 minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Anderson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Stinnett. Any discussion or any questions on the minutes? All those in favor of passing the minutes as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Item E, finance transfers increase and decreases. Resolution 19-02-001, emergency management, $21,923.60. This is a reappropriation of Homeland Security grant funds that were not utilized prior to fiscal year 17-18 end. Do I have a motion to forward to the commission workshop?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Anderson. Do I have a second? Second by Commissioner Kaler. Any discussion or questions on this? Seeing none, I'll ask you to register your vote, please.
4 yes, 0 no, motion passes.
Thank you. Item E2, Resolution 19-02-002. This comes to you from the county clerk, $12,856 to cover shortages due to changes in coverages and increases in premiums. Do I have a motion to forward to the commission workshop?
So moved.
So moved. Commissioner Anderson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Stinnett. Any questions or discussion on this? Seeing none, I'll ask you to register your vote, please.
4 yes, 0 no, motion passes.
Item 3, Resolution 19-02-003. This comes to us from Recovery Court, $15,000. This is an awarded increase in the ADAT, Alcohol and Drug Addiction Treatment Grant. Do I have a motion to forward this to the commission workshop?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Kaler makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Stinnett. Is there any questions or any discussion on this? Seeing none, I'll ask you to register your vote, please.
4 yes, 0 no, motion passes.
Item 4, Resolution 19-02-004. This comes to you from Soil Conservation for $5,030 to cover differences employee-only and dependent health care premiums for an employee. Do I have a motion to send this on to the commission workshop?
So moved.
Commissioner Anderson, do I have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Stinnett, is there any questions or discussion on this? Seeing none, I'll ask you to register your vote, please.
4 yes, 0 no, motion passes.
Item 5, Resolution 19-02-005. This comes to us from Juvenile Court, $5,136.08. This is to cover a retirement payout of an employee who has decided to retire earlier than originally scheduled. Do I have a motion to forward this to the commission workshop?
So moved.
Commissioner Anderson, do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Stinnett. Is there any discussion or any questions on this? Seeing none, I'll ask for you to register your vote, please. Before we move on, are you up and running, Ms. Hannah? Okay, okay. Item 6, 19-02-006, Circuit Court Judge, $23,130.90. This is an increased grant funding for the Administration Office of the Courts for the bulletproofing of the furniture in the courtroom. Do I have a motion to forward this to the commission workshop?
So moved.
So moved from Commissioner Anderson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Stinnett. Any questions or discussion on this? Seeing none, I'll ask you to please register your vote.
Five yes, 0 no, motion passes.
Thank you. Item 7, Resolution 19-02-007, General Liability Fund 263, $250,000 to cover unforeseen increases in claims. Do I have a motion to forward this to the commission workshop?
So moved.
Commissioner Anderson made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
By Commissioner Kaler. Is there any questions or discussion on this? Seeing none, I'll ask that you register your vote, please.
Five yes, 0 no, motion passes.
Item F1, discussion possible action items. This is a grant application request for a community development build grant for the Seymour Volunteer Fire Department, and who will be responsible for the match on this grant. Do I have a motion to move this on to the commission workshop?
So moved.
Commissioner Stinnett, do I have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Kaler, on the second, is there any discussion or any questions on this? Okay, hang on just a second. Will you punch your button, please? Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Yes, I have one question, Mr. Chair, and that is, once the match is made, if the grant is approved, building is built, is there a plan in place for maintaining the cost of the building?
Chief, you want to come up and address this? John? Kind of explain how that works with the volunteer fire department, what your all's role is on maintaining your buildings.
How it works? As far as maintaining the station and properties, we have 6 other stations and we've always maintained them in appropriate fashion. Is there a budgetary line yet for that? No, it'll just, since we'll be replacing an existing station, so any kind of operational maintenance costs, utilities, all of that will just be transferred to this new facility. Square footage will be just a little bit more, but a newer structure, less than 47 years old, so hopefully it'll last for 30 years. It's a typical industry standard of most mechanical systems. Any questions?
Also a better location. I mean,
All those, better location if you're familiar with that area on Chapman Highway. Ford Hill are doing construction there now. And it's also, you walk across the street, you can be in Blount County. So makes it easier in that little wedge of the Bermuda Triangle of the Tri-County area.
Chief, any other questions?
Any other questions?
Thank you. Thank you, Chief. Okay. Do I have okay, we have a motion and a second. Go ahead, if you will, please register your vote.
Five yes, 0 no, motion passes.
Item G, financial reports. This is for information only. Item 1 is our January financial reports, and that is for information only. Item 2 is their notification of our audit release for fiscal year 17-18. At this time, I'd like to ask if Randy Vineyard, if he would please, to address that and kind of give us an update.
Thank you, Mayor. Each of the county commissioners and office holders received a copy directly from the comptroller's office about the fiscal 18 audit. We included it just so it would be in the record through the budget committee, and it'll go on to commission for information only, but this gets it into the official record of the county. And I would like to again thank all those office holders for their assistance in helping the county with this achievement. It is something to be very, very proud of, I think, as a community, that we can have 4 years with an unqualified audit opinion and no findings.
Thank you. I would also like to echo what Randy said. This would not happen without our elected officials and our department heads and our employees and the commission and all of us working together and having the same goals and the same aspirations for what we want to see happen in this great county. And I just want to thank every one of them for the hard work that they put in every day in Blount County and to ensure that great things like this can continue to happen. Item H is adjournment. Do I hear a motion?
No, can I make a comment,
Okay,
please?
go ahead. Yes, sir.
Thank you,
Hang on.
Mr. Mayor. I wanted to, hang on a minute here. I wanted to follow suit with what Randy and you said. As a budget committee member, and as a member of the Blount County Commission, as a Blount County taxpayer, I think we need to really recognize the people that have got us, from what I gather, 4 straight years with a clean audit is not a common occurrence in the state. And I don't want us to ever forget and not remember those that got us there. And you know, we talked about the elected officials and commission, and I want to especially recognize and thank Randy and his staff because they do an outstanding job. And I just want to make sure everybody remembers that because I think it's important we not take them for granted. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anyone else? Before I do adjourn, I want to say, please, everyone have Ken Melton in your thoughts and prayers. Ken is battling some health issues and is in the hospital at this time. And you know, when Commissioner Kaler talks about those that have brought us here, you know, Ken was one of those commissioners for many years that paved the way for some of the great things that are happening in this county now. And he's battling a pretty serious health issues, and I just want us to keep him in our thoughts and prayers, and his family also. If there's nothing else, do I hear a motion to adjourn? Move to adjourn.